Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a really warm morning down here on the allotment. And well, what's been happening this week? Oh, I've been tackling the bindweed, but more of that later on. Have you ever heard, before we go on to the show, of everlasting leeks? I hadn't until a viewer reminded me of the things I had actually dug up last week. So I've replanted them and the fingers crossed it'll take once again. Everlasting leeks, how exciting, and a concept I've never heard of. But that's what happens when you grow your own. You're so focused on growing what you know, what you like, sometimes you don't look outside the box. Anyway, it's great to have you on board. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, maybe not a cuppa. How about it's summer? What about a lovely chilled Pimm's with your home-grown cucumbers and strawberries and raspberries and any fruits you can bung in? Absolutely fantastic. It's great to have you on board. And well, let's see what today's show holds, shall we? Well, I thought I'd come down and be next to my everlasting leeks. And thanks to Bob for telling me all about them. And well, apparently I've been doing the right thing. I didn't realise I had. These grow over the spring and into summer. Throughout the summer, they'll grow and develop. And these are continuing to grow, which is a fantastic thing for me. The bulbs, they're quite mild apparently, these leeks. And they die back over winter and then they come back during the summer months. And which is fantastic. That's what I've been doing over the last few years. Just been cutting them back. Sometimes they go to flower, sometimes they don't. And well, I've always wondered what they were, and I could never understand why they kept coming back. And well, I've obviously produced my own everlasting leeks. You can do this by doing what I've been doing over the last few years, letting them grow and then cut them back. Now, I never knew you could eat them, so I've been throwing them away, but they are edible and they are quite mild apparently. And well, as you can see, mine aren't very thick, in fact relatively thin. You can cut them right back to the bulbs and they will reshoot, as I say, next year. So I'm going to give them a chance. They're back in the soil. I've watered them regularly since I've popped them back in, and they're not wilting. They seem to be wilting at the top, but actually they are surviving, which is a brilliant, brilliant thing. I'm hoping that they will now come back. I will cut them back right down to the floor here. But before I do that, I'm going to give them a chance. Keep filling them with water, keep topping them up. And yes, you can develop your own. You can do that. Put your bulbs in, your garlic, sorry, your leeks, of course. And then if you want everlasting, you just cut them back every winter after they've grown. Cut them back and leave them. And they'll come back up and cut them back and come back up. And they've got really quite big bulbs at the bottom. That's why I thought they were garlic. What a mistake to make. One of my viewers also thought it could be elephant garlic. It could be. I have smelt it. They're not in little garlic bulbs. They've not got their own separate. They are one gigantic bulb at the bottom. So definitely we think now. And they look like leeks too. And they do produce a lovely flower at the top. We've had a few years ago now. I'm very impressed. So Bob, thank you very much for that. Everlasting leeks. What a find. It's not very often actually that you get down amongst your plants and see what's going on, see what's happening. I do love sitting on the floor, as you know, or lying on the floor, down with the plants. You see lots of things down here that you don't normally see from above. It's interesting. You can see whether the leaves are healthier, whether there's anything underneath them, eating them. And obviously, as you know here, we have problems with slugs and things still at the moment, but I'm still getting some lovely potatoes. And these are the home garden potatoes. I had a really good batch out of one plant that was here. I've now dug 3 out and I've got another, I think 12 to go. So a really good supply. Speaking of potatoes, now is the chance, believe it or not, get some potatoes in the ground, not obviously where you've been growing potatoes, in a different space, and you'll start getting your potatoes ready for Christmas. Yes, you could have Christmas Day homegrown potatoes. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Do lots with potatoes. And you know, you can actually freeze your mashed potatoes if you cook them. Cook them, get them cooked, flatten them out, put them in a little bag, let them go cool obviously, and then stick them in the freezer. And then you can just reheat them. I do it very often they're in plastic bags. Just pop it in, a bit like boiling the bag. Pop it in, boiling the bag, and slowly they will reconstitute, and you'll have lovely, lovely mashed potatoes. Isn't it great? These actually make really good potato wedges. They made fantastic homemade chips the other night. This was all done in the air fryer, actually, and they cooked beautifully, and they cook very quickly. I think in the air fryer it was just over 10 minutes, and I got really beautiful potato wedges. And a couple of days later, did some homemade chips as well in the air fryer. Sprayed them with a little spray olive oil, and I could use anything you want. And then I put some seasoning on. Seasoning for these were just a little bit of Himalayan pink salt, and that's really, really lovely. Very natural, of course. But the seasoning for potato wedges, well, actually, I did cheat a little bit. I used fajita seasoning, roasted red pepper fajita seasoning, and sprinkle them on again. Put them into olive oil first in a bag, shook them up, and then put the seasoning into that so they're all nicely coated, and then bang, back in the air fryer. And I kept spraying them occasionally with more oil, just to keep them nice and moist. And as I said, they cooked within 10 minutes or so. Really, really light and fluffy and nice and crispy on the outside. A brilliant, brilliant all-round potato. Fabulous. Home guard. I'm going to try and stick to those next year. We were talking about potatoes just then, so should we pop across to Australia? Yes, Australia. It's very exciting, isn't it? To Matthew's patch, and thank you, Matthew, for your information. You're growing varieties called Nicola and Sabago, if I've got that right. I'll pop the writing up. Maybe I've said that wrong. Knowing me, I probably have. And they're two varieties actually we can get here in the UK, and you say you have great success. They're really good for the area where you are. I presume, Matthew, you don't really go into it, but does that mean that they really grow well in hot, humid weather? And Australia has a really hot weather down there. And you said they're really good, really prolific. You get lots from them. That's really nice. I think it's Sebago. But as I say, I'll pop it up on screen and we can make our own minds up. But yes, we can get both those varieties. In fact, what we'll do is I'll do a bit of research and I'll see and find some photographs, and hopefully they'll be coming up next to me on this side here. I did put a picture of this beautiful, beautiful gladioli that's popped up here on this banking, and it's been absolutely magnificent. The thing I love about gladioli is they're really strong. They'll come back year on year out, and they're always beautiful, beautiful colours. As you can tell, I'm still having a go at the bank, still trying to clear it. There's still little pockets of, as you know, the plant I hate the most, I think, and that's the bindweed. And well, all along my boundaries we've had bindweed, because both sides at the moment, at one side just starting to work on the allotment. They've been handed over to such a new tenant, and they're fettling it, they're having a go. A fettling, a good old Yorkshire term, by the way, if you're not used to it. It means the bottom of it, get into the source of everything. You give, in the spring, your house a good fettle, which means you give it a damn good clean. And that's what you do. We do a lot of fettling here in Yorkshire. And then the other side, of course, they do a lot of work for charity. It's fantastic. And well, they're mainly at the moment producing lots of lovely flowers. But the weather, as they say, has not been kind to them this year. And so they're not producing as much as they possibly can. I presume you've just heard that helicopter. That is one of our fantastic air ambulances going past. They're an amazing thing, the air ambulance here in Yorkshire, and I know throughout the country here, and I know possibly throughout the world, we all have them. They are a charity, so if you're ever wanting to donate to charities, the air ambulance is always a good one. I personally, I love the lifeboats. I donate to those, and they're fantastic things. So yes, beautiful gladioli, bindweed. Now, masses this time, as I say, I've got them both boundaries, started to dig through and really get on top of it. And I spent about an hour and a half the day just tackling one side. And in fact, shall we go to the obligatory photographs? Here you are. And we have, well, two massive piles, and they are on the adjacent allotments at the moment. They have put sheeting down to try and control the weeds until they can come back and really have a go at that. And well, what I've done is put it out, try to spray it out as much as you can to dry it out, and then it can be burnt. So the fire will be going. And then here on the allotment itself, I've been cutting down some hedge work and also getting it into the bottom of the hedges because that's where the bindweed was coming through. I've put a lot of that out. That's in another pile, and here it is. Doesn't look very much actually, but that's because it's fallen a little bit. It started to dry out, and that's what we need, because then it can go on the bonfires and it can be burnt, and we get rid of course, the bindweed once and for all. It's a continual battle, especially this year. The weather's been absolutely perfect for all weeds of all types, and it's been a bit of a chore to keep on top of it, but we're carrying on and we will get there. We'll get it sorted. Big changes to the allotment. I've been thinking about what I can do here. So I'm going to try towards the end of the season, so from September onwards, to absolutely completely and utterly clear this of all the buildings here that I've got. So unfortunately, the old greenhouse, well, as you all know, that's on its last legs anyway. So that'll come down. My temporary greenhouses, they're going to come down. Even my little greenhouse will come down. And I can actually physically look at the space and have a rejig and what have I got? Where can I grow? Luckily, there are two massive trees here on my neighbour's allotment, and they have talked and they're going to try and take those down, which will really help get the sun onto the plot, because I get it for about a couple of hours in the morning, then it disappears behind the trees, and then at night time it comes back onto the allotment. It would be lovely to have all day here with sunshine, because the sun goes from over this side right behind the camera and it comes right behind here. So I've got a really beautiful full length. I've never had the sun all day. Obviously that will bring problems with it, as we know. So we'll carry on with all the watering systems. Oh, let's have some more sun, because then we get more of these and more fantastic plants. Before I go today, I'm just going to mention another comment that I've had from Ali in Canada. And well, remember last time I was talking about my lovely lavender here and the lack of bees. I think I've had 2 or 3 bees. In fact, normally if I'm filming like this in the lovely sunshine, this will be covered in bees. And well, I've seen very few. 1 or 2 dotted about, but not that many. And Ali from Canada, well, you're the same apparently. You're saying you've seen very little bee action, and butterflies too, and they seem to have declined this summer. Maybe because of all the wet weather we've had, it's just not good. We need our bees, as you all know. I'm really passionate about the bees, and we definitely need them because they help make this into life. They help pollinate it. They pollinate a lot of things. I mean, obviously we've seen Darren and pollinating his sweet corn, self-pollinating with his own little brush at the end. So brilliant, well done. But we still need the bees, and it's a bit worrying that we've seen a decline. So fingers crossed. Let's hope that they can survive and they can come back, because we really need them. So Ali, thank you very much for your comment. It's great to have you on board. And well, I just thought I'd show you. I was digging up here, just trying to start clearing, and this really is bindweed, in case you don't realize what I'm on about. Now that is the root of a bindweed, and I'll try and come. In fact, shall I come a little bit closer for the moment? I'll just, oops, hello. There's loads of holes here digging up potatoes. There we have the root. Look, it looks not very big. This is a little, obviously, a plant that started itself, maybe an offcut that I've just taken out, that bit there. And suddenly, well, let me step back now. I'm turning back to you, because look, let's hope I'm in shot. Here we are. This is what it does. It sends out this, and I'm 5'10". Well, this is a lot bigger than that. Look, so you have all these going out, all these tentacles going out, and they then find a new area to grow, and they would dig themselves into the soil. And this has just been laid on top of the soil. I could grab it with my hand, and this is why I found the start of it. This stuff is really invasive. Look at it. I've got this. That will go into my pile. Fingers crossed it dries out and we get rid of it. Well, it's been fantastic having all your comments today. Thank you very much indeed. And it's been great to pop to Australia for advice about potatoes. We've been to Canada and Ali, and we talk about, of course, all the bees as well. And thanks to Bob about, of course, the everlasting leeks. And fingers crossed they will retake. And I'll keep watching, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Once again, thanks ever so much for watching. Thank you for your comments. It really isn't a show without your comments. And well, what worldwide visits we have. Isn't it fantastic? We just pop across to Australia. I know we've got people at New Mexico. We've got people in the Americas. It's just fantastic. Really brilliant. We could go to Sweden. We could go to Spain, Hong Kong, all over the place. And I really do appreciate all of your comments. And of course, here in the UK and to Scotland and to Wales and to Ireland too. So thanks ever so much for being here with me. I love this journey we're all on. Mine might not have been so successful this year, but yours have, and that's the most important thing. We'll get there. Thanks a lot. Great to have you all on board, and we'll see you next time here with more comments, more ideas on Jeremy's Yorkshire allotment adventures. Oh, don't forget, get your potatoes in now for Christmas, alongside your carrots and your cabbage and all of those things. Peas, get them in. And let's see if we can get a bumper crop for those Christmas frosty mornings. Ta-da for now.